People sometimes ask me, why should I look for a church and join a church where they practice church discipline? I mean, why would I go into something if they're just going to kick me out, right? Well, I think the short answer is because you're looking for a church that's biblically faithful, and church discipline is a biblical practice, as Jesus talks about in Matthew 18 and 1 Corinthians 5 and many other places. But also, as we stop and think about what discipline is biblically, we see from God Himself that biblical church discipline is both loving and as a means for growth and holiness. I'm thinking of Hebrews 12 where God says, for the Lord, or the writer says, for the Lord disciplines the one He loves and chastises every son whom He receives. It is for discipline that you have had to endure. God is treating you as sons. When you love someone, you want to see them grow in holiness. And so we want to join a church where we're helping one another in little conversations and relationship, both encouraging one another and admonishing one another as occasion requires to grow in that holiness. That is a loving thing to do. It's also loving to warn people of the judgment to come. If there really is a final day of judgment, imagine if nobody ever warned you about that fact. What is church discipline? Is it an act of retribution? No, it's a little picture of judgment now to sort of wave your arms and say, bridge out ahead. There's an even greater judgment to come. And that is a loving thing to do, to explain to people, you want to join a church that's loving in that way. But church discipline, as I also said, grows us in holiness. Hebrews also says, for the moment, all discipline seems pleasant and painful rather than pleasant, but later on it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Imagine a math teacher who taught the lesson but never corrected the errors. You would say that's not a very good math teacher. And so church discipline also grows us in righteousness and peace, says Hebrews 12. Friend, you want a healthy church, look for a church that practices church discipline.